Hello guys, let's start with this question one. Now for this predicted question 125, it say wooden materials are used for clothing in cold region because they trap heat since they are insulators. B, they radiate heat into the atmosphere. C, they conduct heat from the environment. D, they are what? Large and heavy. The answer to that question is A. So A is what I will go for. Why am I going for A? Because it what wooden material, they do not what radiate it. They only prevent it because they are insulator. They do not allow free mobile electrode to enter or pass through them. Now they are not conductors, so they cannot conduct it. So from the environment. Three, they are large and heavy. That is not the primary main purpose of what? Of climate change here. So in that case, I'll go option A. B, it says number two, sound is an example of dash. Now, don't forget, sound is a longitudinal wave. Sound is what require medium for its propagation. Sound is a mechanical wave. Sound is not what a type of wave that allow what or that travel through vacuum. So therefore, the answer to that question is what? Mechanical what? Wave. Now the next one says what? Liquid what? Candle wax rises up the wick of a candle wax as a result of dash. A, surface tension. B, obtruse. C, terminal velocity. D, capillarity. Now the rising of the candle wax up the wick of a candle is as a result of capillary action. But the result is caused by what? Surface tension. Now, this is the primary purpose of rising of the what? Of the candle wax. Why this one is what? The secondary. So, in that case now, the main purpose of this one is what? Is capillarity. Number four is that what? It say if the power of a lens is -4, this will be what? A convex lens. What do? We said what? Power is equal to 1 over what? F. So if power is equal to 1 over F plus or minus, when do we use plus? We use plus when it is what? Convex, and we use minus when it's concave. Then it will be measured in meter. But if you have what, we can have it as 100 over F plus or minus in centimeter or in geometry. So this one now will now be what? 1 over -4. We are going to have minus 0.25 as our answer. So option D is the answer. Let's go to number 5. Number 5 says, what is the mass? What is the mass of water that will absorb what? 957 kilojoules of what? Energy to gain a temperature of 40 degrees Celsius. So what we're going to do now is that we are going to what? Use this formula. Heat equals to what? MC change in temperature. So now, after putting all your parameters, this is the formula. We now use our calculator. So we now say what? 957, which is our heat times 10 power what? 3 is equals to what? The mass is what? Unknown. Then times what? Specific capacity is what? 4182 times what? Temperature change. So what I want to have now is that our gain in temperature is what? 40. So M is equal to what? 957 times 1000 because it's kilojoules divide by 4182 times 40. So what I want to have now is that this one will cancel this and we have 100. So if you do your calculation very well, you are going to have it as what? This is 957 times 1000. Then divide by what? 4182 times 40. So our answer will now be equal to what? 572 kilogram. So that's what I would have. So that is just that. Now the next question, they said what? The moon gravity is 1/6 of the earth gravity. The weight of the bowling ball on the earth will be dash. Now don't forget that the earth is what? 6 times bigger than the moon, meaning that the moon is 1/6 of the earth gravity. So any object that you bring from the world to the earth will be 6 times the weight on the moon. So there will go for option A. The next one is number 7. It's a pilot uses an aero barometer to know height above sea level because an aero barometer is what? Small and convenient, heavy and huge, costly. Then this is very accurate. No, it is not because it's very accurate, because it cannot be used for many applications. In fact, it cannot even be more accurate than what? Barometer, mercury barometer. But the best way why we use an aero barometer for altimeter is what? Because it's small and convenient. Now that is number 8. Increase the volume of water, Roman figure 2. Increase the external pressure, Roman figure 3. Increase the what? The quantity of impurity, then what? Of water. Then they say the boiling point of water can be altered by the following change. A, that means volume cannot affect what? Don't forget there are two factors that affect impurity, that affect boiling point rather. Number 1 is what? Impurity, and number 2 is what? Pressure. So in my own shortcut, I call it what? A prim. Prim is the shortcut for that. So I will go with what? A. The next one say the inner lining of the what? PO camera must be dashed. It must be darkened because what? So that the image can be properly seen. So you must darken, not white, not reflected. The next one said an what? Inclination of 30 degrees was given to an inclined plane to make it achieve the mechanical what? Advantage of what? 1.7. The efficiency is dash. Now to calculate the efficiency of that, mechanical advantage MA is equal to what? 1.7. Now the velocity ratio is 1 over sine theta, which is equal to 1 over sine 30 degree. What I would have 1 over 1 over 2, which will equal to what? 2. So velocity ratio is equal to 2. Therefore, efficiency will now be equal to what? Mechanical advantage over what? Velocity what? Ratio times what? 100%. So what do you have now? 1.7 divided by 2 times what? 100%. This one will cancel, this one will what? This one will 50. Then 50 will give us what? 85%. 85%. So our answer now for that question will now be equal to what? C. Our answer will be C. Now the next question says what? 11. They gave us a table having force and extension. So now what did they say we should do? We said we should find X. Extension, when force was 10, extension was 2. When what? This thing was 20, extension was what? X. 30 is what? The force, you know, and extension was 6. So what I want to do now is that what? Using the table what above, I say S is what? Now using F equals to KE, we assume that what? That the what? K is constant. So K equal to what? F over E. Now what we are going to do now is F1 over E1 equal to what? F2 over E2. So what I want to do now, what is our F1? Let's use this and this. Right? 10 over 2 equals to what? 20 over X. So we'll cross multiply. What do we have now? 10 equal to 40. 10x equal to what? 40. So divide both by 10. So our answer will now be what? S equals to what? 4 meter. Option C. The next one says the value of speed of sound in different media have an ascending sequence. That means going from lower. Ascending means what? Going like this, widening up. Now Now, don't forget, sound travel faster in solid than liquid and than in gas or in air. So air has the least what speed of sound what movement in their medium. So in that case, now we'll go with option G. So air is smallest, followed by liquid, then followed by what? The gases, and then solid. Air, liquid, and solid. The next one say to generate electricity, a turbine must what? Not what? Couple with what? It must not couple with dash. A, the nuclear what? Plant. B, the what? Photo what? Voltaic cell. C, it must not what? Combine with what? Couple with what? Hydro plant. D, it must not couple with what? Plant what? Thermal plant. Don't forget in what? Hydro plant, water flow from the what? Through a turbine. Spin heat, which is then generate electricity. This require turbine. Now that is to say that water will pass through the turbine to spin it, which now generate electricity. That is hydro what plant. In nuclear plant, why the process of generating what electricity in a nuclear plant is different is that nuclear plant is what formed from fissions, and this what the final stage that often what experience is what is steam rotation, and that occur in the turbine. Then the last one is a thermal plant. Thermal plant is what uses heat for burning of fuel to create what steam, which then what drive a turbine to generate what electricity. So the one that is not part of it is what photovoltaic cell. Now the next one is say what the dielectric of a capacitor of a capacitor 2F is replaced with a material of twice the relative what permittivity. Don't forget that relative permittivity and permittivity, this one is permittivity, and dielectric constant are the same. So what we are going to do now to find the new capacitance, there is a formula that says C is equal to what? K C naught, or what we call the dielectric constant. So now what we are going to do now is that we want to calculate the dielectric constant in order to what? To get, although the dielectric constant is what is given to us, because there's two, let's even use C equal to what? Dielectric constant times what? A over D. Now what is what? The relationship between dielectric constant and C. The relationship between them is just direct proportionality. So we can say C1 over E equal to C2 over E2. So what is the dielectric constant of the capacitance of capacitor? 2F divided by what? E, what? Let's say this one is K. Now, what will be C2 when the what? The dielectric is double. They say if the what? They place with material, if they say what? Replace with a material of twice the relative what? Permittivity. That means what we are saying that the dielectric of what? Of capacitor 2F is replaced. The dielectric now we replace with twice of the former one, so 2K. Now if we get 2K now to make our C2 formula, which is the new capacitance of the capacitor, will now be what? 2F times 2K over K. This one will cancel this one, so I would have 4F. So 4F is our formula. Now our first answer. This one says what? Find the final what? Temperature of what? 1 kilogram condensed water when what? This of it is extracted from the steam at 100 degrees Celsius. So what you have heat supply now or extracted is equal to what? Number one, two things occur here. When you extract the heat, you understand that, from the steam at 100 degrees Celsius, two things will occur, because they want us to find the change in what? In temperature. I mean final temperature. Meaning that they want us to what? First of all, there will be latent heat of fusion that will occur, and there will also be what? Fc change in theta. So the Fc change in theta will now be MLV plus what? MC of water over what? 100 minus theta. So in that case, what we want to do now is what? We use our what? H is what? 2.321 times 10 to the power 6 joules equal to what? Mass is what? 1 times what? 2.3 times 10 to the power 6 plus what? 1 times what? 4200 into bracket 100 minus what? Theta. So what I'm going to do now is I'll collect like terms. So I'm going to have for 2.321 minus times what? 10 to the power 6 minus what? 2.3 times 10 to the power minus 6. Because this one will come here. This 6 10 to the power 6 will come here, become minus equal to what? 4200 to bracket 100 minus theta. Now this what will be your final temperature because it's undergoing condensation. So this one was initial during what vaporization, but now the condensation will be what? Final. So this is our final during condensation. Don't forget to that we are looking for now the final temperature during condensation. Now if you subtract this one, now I want to have it as what? 0.21 then times 10 to the power 6 equal to what? 4200 into bracket 100 minus theta. If you do that very well, I would have 1 2. So what I would have now, let me subtract 2.321. Let's subtract 2.321 2.321 minus 2.3. So what I would have is what? 0.021. So if you get 0.021, then which is the same thing as 123, which is 21 times 10 to the power what? If minus 3 times 10 to the power 6 is equal to 4200 100 minus theta. So what do we have now? This one divide both sides by 4200. 4200. Now this one will remove 6 from it because minus 3 plus 6 is what? 3. So we're going to have what? 1000. Then that is 21,000 divided by what? 4200 equals to what? So I cancel, you have 100 minus theta. So this one will cancel this one cancel this. So which one? 1 is 1 2. So what we're going to have there is what? If you divide it, you're going to have 5. So do your calculation very well. You're going to have 5. Divide it from here because this is 1000 times 21 divided by 4200 is what? 5. 5 equals to 100 minus theta. Therefore, theta equals to what? 100 minus 5, which is what? 95. So our answer will 95 what? Degree. So I think the options, let's say we create option A, 85 degrees Celsius, B, 70 degrees Celsius, C, let's say 95 degrees Celsius, and what? D, 100 degrees Celsius. So the answer is what? C. The next one says what? The next question, he said the peak what? Value of an AC voltage of what? An RMF is this. Say what? The peak value of what? Of an AC voltage of RMS value of this is that. So peak voltage is maximum voltage divided by 2 equal to what? VRMS. So in that case, what I want to do now is what? VRMS equal to root 2 times VRMS. That means, sorry, maximum voltage times what? Root 2 if you cross multiply now. Cross multiply. So I'm going to have it as what? The new formula. So let's find root 2 is 1.414 times, because there's no root in your calculator in Jamb, times what? 220 volts. So what we're going to have is what? We're going to have 1.414 times what? 220. So we're going to have 311 as the answer. So it's 311 volt, approximately 311. So the next one, this one is the which of the following operate based on magnetic effect of electric current is dynamo. Don't forget, dynamo convert what we call it made. You know, some of you in Nigeria, you use that language. I will mend you. So mend is a shortcut for what? For remembering dynamo, which is what? Convert what? Mechanical to what? To electrical. Why what? Electrical energy. So electrical energy. Don't forget, we have what they call MM. MM. It's a shortcut for what? For electric motor. So electric motor convert what? Electrical. Electric motor convert electrical to mechanical. Electric motor convert electrical to mechanical. So that is just that. Now let's go to the next one. So the answer is what? C. A pendulum bulb displays 10 what? Newton and 15 Newton when totally immersed in water and liquid. Why? Respectively. Calculate the relative density. So relative density is got to what? Upthrust in the liquid divided by what? Upthrust in water. So what I want to do is what? Upthrust in liquid is what? What is upthrust in liquid? Upthrust in liquid is what? Is they say what? 10 and 15 for water. So water is 10, while what in liquid is 5. So what we are calculating relative density of liquid. So what I would have now is 1.5 option. What? Now the magnitude of two resultant of the magnitude of the two resultant of two vectors A and B acting at a point with T to T at an angle of what? T to T. That means T to T. This is T and this is head. You understand? They are acting at 90 degrees. Two vector A and B. So they now say what? Can be expressed by what? The magnitude is what? C. Don't forget, you now be to find the magnitude, you now take what? The resultant. This is the resultant here. You can complete the what? But here will now be A, Y here remain B. So if you want to find this one, and this is hypotenuse side, this opposite, Y this is adjacent. So we have R square equal to what? A square plus what? B square. So that's what I'm going to use to calculate that one. So R now be equal to what? Square root of what? A square plus what? B square. Don't forget, this one is when two vectors are moving in the same direction. A plus B. So the answer is C. The next one is this.